Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, sharpshooters. My name is Deadshot, back again with another build video. This week we are featuring Yareli Prime with probably one of the stupidest headshot builds I've come up with so far. I feel like she's a very underrated frame, but that's mainly because I started using her ironically, realized that she has some very interesting potential. And then I started building her, and this was like when she first released, back when she was like really memed on. And I mean, don't kid yourself, she's still memed on now, but I feel like that's a little bit too much, considering just how stupid she can get. This build is going to feature a helmness swap, and it's going to feature the helmness swap from Site 9. This build gets so stupid. Let's get into it, shall we? Brief respite for the shield of generation on energy spent. Prime sure-footed for the lack of knockdown, because no matter what anyone tells me, I don't like being on my ass. Prime continuity for the ability duration. Archon flow for the energy pool, and the enemies killed by cold abilities have a 10% chance to drop energy orbs. I do believe that we don't have... Oh no, these do dish out cold damage, so if they die to sea snares, they will have the chance to produce energy, so they'll keep your energy pool up, as if Yareli needs help keeping your energy up. We're going to be utilizing Loyal Marulina, I know how to say that, I promise, so that we're no longer riding on the board, and we can still utilize it, and it will cast sea snares for us, so that way we have free damage increases. Equilibrium for the health to energy and energy to health pickups, because we want to keep our energy up as much as possible. Precision intensify to increase the strength of our 4, which will be Site 9's swap. Blind rage for the ability strength. Narrow-minded for lots of ability duration. And primed redirection for tons of shields, so that way we spend less time dying. This will also help our shield gate, as this will give us a full 2.5 seconds of invulnerability when our shields break. Very lovely, very lovely. Jumping into her passive, this is going to be where we shine. We gain 200% critical chance for secondary weapons while we are moving for at least 1.5 seconds. Very common. Everybody knows that to min-max Yareli, we need to be using pistols, and I'll show you how we're going to be utilizing that the best in a moment. Sea snares is going to cause our enemies to take up to 300% more damage, but that's going to increase further once we get Arcane Crypt Secular in there and getting that extra 30%. So that's going to boost that a little bit further. It's probably going to boost it to somewhere around like 230%, basically. Which is quite a difference. It's not quite as much as Viral is going to do, but it's going to stack on top of what Viral is going to do. So they're going to die incredibly quickly. Marulina, which is going to be casting those sea snares for us. We're not going to be riding her. We're not going to be getting that, but we will still be getting that damage reduction, which is very lovely. And Marulina does have a lot of health with our ability strength, and she will gain a little bit more when you cast it while invisible. Aqua Blades, this is mainly just a bit of a self-defense. You're using this more defensively than offensively. It helps prevent enemies from getting too close to you, and kind of gives them a bit of a stun while they get hit with the Aqua Blades, and they will take force slash procs, which is a very lovely, very useful. Slash hits health directly and ignores armor, so we love that. And then of course, as I said, we are using evade. So we'll jump backwards, become invisible, and each time we kill an enemy with a headshot, we will extend the duration of the invisibility. So what this basically means is we are never going to be seen. And then finally the arcanes, as I mentioned, Arcane Crypt Secular, abilities plus 30% ability strength, and plus 3 times critical damage. It is ridiculous. And then Arcane Pistolier, so that way we never have to worry about ammo or ammo consumption. We'll basically be able to fire our pistol endlessly. Moving on to our primary, we're going to be utilizing the Scourge Prime, and we're going to be utilizing the Scourge Prime in a very funny way, because fun fact, when it's thrown and hits multiple enemies, it puts a like little tracer on their head, or a little bullet magnet on their head. And that will force all bullets shot at that in that little area to their head. So that's going to be interesting. And we're going to have it force proc lots of magnetic and make use of primary obstruct, which is going to act as another CC or another layer of CC and jam the enemy's guns. And it's going to cause them to stun for a couple of seconds when their guns get jammed. And then at that point, you can then use that opportunity to take them out if they're not already caught in a C snare. Now for our pistol, we're going to be using what I have nicknamed the Fibber. It is going to be a certain configuration of hit gun. Our grip is the Gibber, so that it is a secondary. Chamber is a Rattle Guts, which is going to give us a decent mag size, lots of fire rate, and rapid fire, basically. I don't know why I had to say that twice. And then our loader is the Splat Loader, because Splat Loader is best. I have a ribbon for it, but if you don't, you can make use of things like Hornet Strike or what's the other one here? Pistol Gambit, but you can't if you're using Creeping Bullseye. Or you can use things like Galvanized Crosshairs or Galvanized Shot in place of the ribbon. This is not the be-all, end-all to your build. This just so happens to be a really good role for this setup. Does a lot of damage, does insane things. And then, of course, we're going to use Prime Target Cracker to increase that critical damage further. Hollow Point for more critical damage. Magnetic Might, more critical damage. Pistol Acuity for more critical damage. It gives you more weak point damage and a hell of a lot of crit chance. And then, of course, we're going to be using Creeping Bullseye for more critical chance. Merciless Gunfight for, yes, you guessed it, more critical damage. And then Primed Heated Charge so that we can make use of Cascadia Flare and the Archon Shard that we have on Yareli. These two things kind of play into each other. And then we've got Primed Steady Hands, just to reduce recoil and help keep our guns a little bit more accurate. Cascadia Flare is going to be our base damage multiplier, as it's going to stack up to 480%, which is mental. So it's going to give us lots of base damage. And then the absolute star of the show is going to be Pack Seeker. On headshot, 4 projectiles burst out from the target and seek the heads of nearby enemies. This is going to be what kills everything. It is nuts. And quickly getting into Yareli's Archon Shards, because I did forget to mention those. We are rocking 1 for shield capacity, 1 Tau Forge for shield capacity, 1 Tau Forge for energy max, and 2 Tau Forge yellows for casting speed, and then that Tau Forge Topaz Archon Shard for that increase in secondary critical chance up to 75%. So we're basically going to be doing non-stop red crits. And then for our melee, we're just going to be rocking the Coda Path Assist, as it's just a fun secondary. We've just got a very basic melee influence build, and this acts as a pretty decent crowd control as well. Attack spawn allied miasmites that last for 7 seconds and will explode in a larger area than the normal Path Assist, which is very nice. Quickly, we're going to use Gleaming Talon for our stance, Whirlwind for projectile speed, more critical chance and critical damage, more critical damage. This makes it so that it explodes without me having to hit my heavy attack, which is very nice. Condition Overload, because they're usually going to have a lot of procs on them anyways. Strain Infection to grow more cysts and spawn more maggots that will do more damage. Power Throw for more throw damage. Prime Fury for more attack speed. And then Reflex for the heavy attack efficiency and the increase in initial combo. And like I said, we're also using Melee Influence for our Arcane, which has a 20% chance to apply to enemies within 20 meters for 18 seconds and cannot refresh while active. So Melee Influence is fun. And then this guy, can't do much with him. And our companion, of course, is going to be the Panzerwaffe Phyla, in my case, the Destroyer of Worlds, with our basic utility setup, utilizing Synth Fiber, Resourceful Retriever, Martyr Symbiosis so that I don't die as much, Prime Animal Instinct for the loot radar, enemy radar, sorry, Duplex Bond so that my companion can clone herself and spread even more viral damage, and this increases the chances of it dropping energy orbs. So very nice. Sharpened Claws for armor strip, de-evolution so that I can maintain the uptime on my Panzer as much as possible, even if it turns into a little Sentinel. Tenacious Bond for extra final critical damage multiplier. This is also going to stack with Arcane Crypt Secular, so we're going to get a total of 4.2 times final critical damage multipliers. Absolutely ridiculous. And then Fetch for the pickup range, and Viral Quills for the viral spread. Very lovely stuff. Now, to get into the build, we're going to try and find ourselves the highest level mission on the star chart at the moment. That's going to be Steel Path, Lua, Circulus. Does not have... oh, shit. We meant to go in solo. My bad. I forget to put it in solo sometimes. Sorry, boys. Yeah. Let me know. Okay. That is what I wanted, yep. There we go. We'll rock 5 minutes in here. Then extract. But you can see kind of the works. I do believe we're also running the Matterized skill tree, so we're going to be buffing with that right away as well.
Your enemies have grown fierce. Use all that you have learned.
All right, so you throw that, and then you just do that, and these guys are all dead.
The Orican Neural Sentry is attempting to.
We will also be using the Path Assist to spread viral, considering it's going to be combined with our secondary here. So we're going to swap to this, throw that, and just start murking everything. Because God knows I don't have the opportunity yet to make my invisibility, or to use the invisibility. Come on, where's the energy? Alright, so you just throw Scourge, let it proc, and then when it procs, you aim about head level. Okay, the energy production is incredibly bad right now, so I'm gonna pop a energy pad. So I can cast that and that, and now.
If you have a necromech, this would be an excellent place to deploy it.
Now we can start doing some things. And Margulina already died. That's okay. And then with the non-stop headshots, you're also always invisible. You've got to make sure that you actually throw Scourge. And the Pack Seeker bolts are the ones that are hitting for that multi-million damage. It is really stupid how effective this is. You can see there's a sea of red crits. Yeah, I usually only end up using an ammo for the first initial little bit. But once a couple of headshots kick in, it's all over. You can just sit here and just fire. Cast aqua blades because why not? Just to be annoying. And you basically have so much crit chance that it's almost impossible for you to not hit a red crit. Almost.
Oculists are scanning for targets. The sentient has detected you. Fighters incoming.
Not even the acolytes can stand a chance. Put a tracer on their head, because yes, it works for them too. And just watch as they disintegrate into nothing.
The longer you hold out, the deeper I can search. But
and you know what, just for this time, because I usually don't. Oh no, I realized I did buff, but I didn't buff for the invisibility, but it doesn't really matter because, like I said, the invisibility isn't really affected by much. Get him out of here. All right. Let's go. You could also replace the path assist for the Praetos. This build was created honestly before I had the Praetos fully evolutionized or evolved. Oh my god, I speak good English. So at the time, I just had the Coda Path Assist, but it is still a solid build on its own. But yeah, you can kind of pick your utility melee weapon, if you will. As the melee weapon's not the important part.
They fought well. Good deaths all.
All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it all up from me today there, folks. I do hope you enjoyed. If you liked the video, don't forget to let me know by dropping a like on the video itself. Subscribe to the channel to see more from me. And leave a comment on your thoughts. Give the build a try for yourselves out there. Let me know what you think. And I hope that you guys all have a very wonderful evening. Deadshot out.